Hey, so I'm currently here at Changi Airport and I have a layover here. So I flew from Manila to Singapore, had a layover for like 4 hours-ish, and then I'm still waiting for the gate to open on my leg 2 of my journey to Rome, Italy. I'm so excited because it's my first time to visit Italy, and yeah, I'm so looking forward for the food, for the architecture, and for the cold weather as well. I arrived in Rome early, ahead of schedule, and slightly ahead of myself. Airports are designed to erase geography.
Alta velocità 9976 di Italo per Milano Centrale.
Rome begins the moment that erasure fails. The pavement resists you, uneven and apologetic. The language sharpens the ear, arriving faster than comprehension. Somewhere nearby, an espresso machine announces itself with mechanical insistence, as if reminding me that efficiency here is neither admired nor required. I had arrived with a plan, of course. I always do. But Rome regards plans as suggestions at best. Attempts to master it with lists and routes are quietly undermined by interruption. Ruins where shops should be. Churches embedded in ordinary streets. History refusing to stay in its assigned places. The city does not organize time. It layers it. Ancient stone presses against modern traffic, and before long, my certainty about how the days should unfold begins to soften.
Okay, so it was an adventure from the Roma Termini station all the way to my hotel. Yeah, but I was too early for my check-in. Check-in time is around 3 p.m. It's almost 11 a.m. here. And even if I wanted to request for an earlier check-in, but apparently the hotel is currently full. But the lady at the front desk told me that she will send me a message if the room is already available. So hopefully it's going to be an earlier check-in time because I really need to take a shower, really need to sleep, and change clothes as well.
Rome does not reward urgency. I felt this almost immediately in the way walking too fast made me conspicuous. In the way stopping felt like delay and more like participation. I slowed down, not out of intention, but out of necessity. The city makes haste feel clumsy. Santa Maria Maggiore shimmered in gold and silence, centuries suspended above my head. The air inside felt heavier, as if history occupied physical space. Then came the Colosseum. It was scarred, unadorned, yet enduring. I had seen it in textbooks my whole life, flattened into diagrams and captions, but the stone carries a different authority than paper. Under brooding gray and heavy sky, it felt less like a monument and more like a survivor.
Finally here at Colosseum.
It was indifferent to my presence, but certain of its own permanence. I learned to navigate by meals. Lunch stretched into the afternoon, and the afternoons dissolved into walks that led nowhere in particular. Roman food does not explain itself. Pasta arrives confident, repetitive, and uninterested in novelty. Wine assumes you will stay, that you are not measuring time too carefully. Between bites and drinks, I notice a quiet resistance in myself. the urge to document, to frame the experience for later consumption. It weakened, replaced by the simpler, more demanding task of paying attention.
Hi, good morning. So we're here in front of Pantheon. It's one of those Greek buildings that were built here in ancient Rome. And right now it's full of tourists, and the entrance fee costs around like €5, and you can book it online. So let's get inside and see the history behind it.
The Pantheon offered a lesson I did not know I was looking for. Light entered through the oculus without drama, indifferent to admiration. Standing beneath it, I felt a familiar impatience rise and then recede. Urgency felt inappropriate there, almost embarrassing.
We're finally inside the Pantheon, the ancient Roman temple, and as you can see, this temple is really preserved. So many people as well, but everything's manageable. And when you see from the top, this is an oculus. It is believed to be a representation of direct from an open eye, and it connects the Roman temple to the heavens. And also it creates a dramatic lighting effect inside the temple. And I am lucky because today is a very sunny day.
Rome compresses personal time against historical time, until the former nearly disappears. And with it, the persistent sense that I should be elsewhere.
Buongiorno, welcome to Villa Borghese. This is one of the largest parks here in Rome. So it houses villas, museums, and a huge greenery space in the heart of Rome. So let's find out what this place has to offer. We're going to visit the gallery. I have tickets. The ticket costs around like €25. I booked it online, so I'm excited. Let's go. Now, welcome to Villa Borghese. This is one of the largest parks here in Rome. It houses villas, museums, and a whole lot more. Plus, there is a huge green space here, so for park lovers like me, this is the place to be here in Rome. And we're going now inside the museums to check out the attractions inside.
Art required limitation. At the Villa Borghese, beauty arrived dense and immediate, almost confrontational. I felt myself reaching a threshold, not of interest, but of saturation.
So we are here inside the Villa Borghese Museum, and wow, I am blown away. Everything is like, I don't know how to explain, but this is just one part of the gallery, so we'll just explore around. We only have 2 hours to explore this museum. Oh my god, I am geeking out right now. This is Caravaggio. And these are his famous paintings.
I left early, before admiration collapsed into fatigue, before appreciation turned dutiful. Outside in the gardens, recovery felt earned. The air was lighter, and art, I realized, is like a travel, benefits from knowing when to stop looking.
All right, we're here at Trevi Fountain and doing this traditional coin toss. Yeah, I think this is 20 cents. Let's go. Woo! So before, there's no entrance fee here at Trevi Fountain, but right now they put a gate, and if you wanted to go near the fountain, you have to pay €2, which is not really bad. I think this is a great idea to control the crowd because, you know, especially during the summer season, it is very crazy. And today is like February. It's not really the peak season, but still a lot of people.
At the Trevi Fountain, I joined the choreography of coin-throwing pilgrims, casting one over my shoulder. Not out of superstition, but as a quiet pact with Rome. The Baroque excess roared with confidence, water and marbles conspiring in spectacle. By afternoon, I reached Castel di Sant'Angelo, stern and cylindrical against a blue sky, less theatrical and more enduring. Between the fountain's seduction and the fortress survival, Rome revealed its two enduring instincts, to dazzle and to outlast. Trastevere rewarded idleness. Streets led nowhere important, and I followed them anyway. Wine was poured without ceremony, glasses appearing as if continuation were assumed. Conversations drifted past me in fragments, half understood, misheard, and most of the time incomplete. I noticed how comfortable I was becoming with not fully understanding, with letting meaning remain approximate.
So I'm here at the Trastevere, one of the Bohemian-inspired, or maybe like a Bohemian neighborhood here in Rome. I like the vibe here. It is very old. It reminds me of the Gothic quarters in Barcelona. And as well as this Piazza, it reminds me of some old squares in Barcelona and Madrid as well. Behind me is the Santa Maria in Trastevere, and let's go inside.
This was Rome without instruction. Persuasive, precisely because it did not ask to be interpreted.
Yo, what's up? So, walking to St. Peter's Square because I still have the entire afternoon and the sun is still up. It's 4 p.m. and St. Peter's Square is only 8 stations away from my hotel, so why not pay a visit, right? So yeah, everything's like orderly. There's like a crowd, but it's still manageable, and the weather is so fine. Like, as you can see, there's a blue sky behind me. Yeah, I'm excited. So technically, we are entering another country. So Vatican is an independent city-state, and the head of state is obviously the Pope, which is also the leader of the Catholic Church and the leader of 2 billion Catholics around the world. So basically, this Vatican City is called the city within a city, and is guarded by the Swiss Guards, which is literally from Switzerland. That's what I've heard. So let's enter the St. Peter's Square. And I'm so excited because I've only seen this on TV or read this on some novels from Dan Brown. So yeah, this is the reality.
Saturday afternoon at the Vatican carried a different weight. The weekend crowd swelled, arriving, and St. Peter's absorbed the sound, holding it briefly before releasing it.
So behind me is the St. Peter's Basilica, that one. So every time the Catholic Church elects a new pope, that's the balcony, the exact balcony that I always see on TV, the things that I read on books. Wow, that's the place where the new pope announces to the whole world that, hey, I'm the new pope. But I can't imagine myself here at this place. Like, it's always been in my dream to be here in Rome, especially here in Vatican City, and seeing this is really amazing. Like, I'm out of words. Like, I'm pretty getting emotional right now because, this is one of the things that I really wanted to do in my life, to see the world, and this one is one of my bucket lists. So thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to be here. Such an amazing experience.
Okay, so after an hour of like roaming around under the rain here in Vatican, I am finally going inside the St. Peter's Basilica. I'm so excited because, it's been a dream to go inside. Yay!
Light moved carefully across the marble and gold. I stood there longer than planned, aware of the silence, not as absence, but as a condition that would soon disappear. When voices finally arrived, they did so without malice, only inevitably. Leaving felt necessary, even respectful. Some spaces ask more of you if you stay too long.
I am finally here inside St. Peter's Basilica. It is one of the most beautiful churches that I've been. I feel like I'm in heaven. You know, I am completely overwhelmed right now. This is a huge church. You also have a prayer room there on my right-hand side. Everything up to the tiniest detail. So amazing. I can't even believe that a human being created this.
So we're here at Termini Station, or the central station here in Rome, and we're on our way to Firenze.
The train to Florence offered a unique sense of humility. You sit, landscapes move, and your participation becomes optional. Fields, factories, and hills pass without concern for whether I was paying attention.
Yo, finally made it here at Firenze, or Florence, the birthplace of Renaissance. So I'm walking towards my hotel, which is only 200 meters away, and I'm going to stay here for 3 days and 2 nights. So it's going to be a short but rather sweet trip. So let's go. Hi, good morning again from Firenze. We are walking now to the Dome, or the Firenze Duomo. It's the red dome cathedral right at the heart of Firenze.
Florence arrived composed, aware of its own mythology, careful not to exaggerate it. A city practiced in being observed. I chose one museum and resisted the rest, noticing how difficult that restraint felt. Outside, life resumed easily. Lunch table filling, conversations continuing, arts returning to context rather than dominance. I found the balance reassuring. Well, even corrective.
Buongiorno, we are here at Pisa, and finally, it took us like 1 hour and 20 minutes via train. So, I'm thinking of like walking from the Pisa Centrale to the Leaning Tower of Pisa.
Pisa suffered from being famous for the wrong reason. The tower leaned obligingly while the rest of the city waited patiently to be overlooked. Away from the expected photographs, Pisa felt modest. Well, almost shy.
Yes, we're finally here at the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Yeah, it really leads approximately like 3 degrees. I don't know, but that's just a rough estimate. But here we are, finally.
Lunch was unhurried. The day improved immediately, and I wondered how often places, like people, are misjudged because we insist on meeting them only when they are most visible. Returning to Rome, the itinerary dissolved entirely. Days were no longer structured around what remained unseen. What persisted instead were habits. Slower mornings, longer meals, fewer impulses to accumulate. I noticed how difficult it had been, at first, to allow days to remain unresolved. Travel, when done well, removes more than it adds. It strips urgency and replaces it with attention, with a willingness to sit longer than necessary and leave before the experience becomes too dull. Italy did not change. It never needed to. Somewhere along the way, without ceremony or declaration, I did.
I heard you calling on the megaphone. You wanna see me all alone. Legend has it you are quite the pyro. You light the match to watch it blow. And if you never called for me, I might have drowned in melancholy. I swore my loyalty to me, myself, and I.
And I just realized that I'm a walking Italian flag, like green, white, and red.
Oh, that touch you sat alone in my tower. You were just honing your powers. Now I can see it all. They wanna take me out of my grave and save my heart from the fate of Ophelia. Keep 100 on the land. I see the sky, but you lead us to your hand. Your team, your tribe, so tell me where the hell you've been. It's now or never mind. It's got to be the steepest night you've been dreaming of. Ophelia, the eldest daughter of a nobleman. Ophelia lived in fantasy. Her love was a cold bed full of scorpions. The venom stole her sanity. And if you never called for me, I might have lingered in purgatory.